today, and I am doing a book review on the book DUFF by Cody Keplinger. So this is only my second book review, so it'll probably be a little bit scattered because I'm just not quite used to it yet, but you know, whatever. This book is about a 17-year-old girl named Bianca Piper, and the whole story revolves around Bianca, but it also has a lot of like intertwining characters. It's heavily based off of her, obviously, and her two best friends, Casey and Jessica. And the book is basically about Bianca going through a very hard time at home, and then she ends up kissing her nemesis named Wesley for a distraction for all of the things that are going on in her life. And it says right here, well, and then it turns out, like, when she starts kissing Wesley to make a distraction, she starts falling for him, which she never would have expected because she can't stand the boy. She literally hates him. But the book just revolves around her ongoing feelings for her nemesis Wesley and all that kind of thing. So that was the crappy synopsis ever I've done on a book. Sorry. I'm really bad at synopsis. But so that's what the book is about. If you want to stop this here because there will be spoilers, I am not a spoiler-free reviewer. I have to tell the whole story. That's just what I do. So like I said, if you have not read this book, stop now and go read it, because seriously, this is one of the best books I've read in a long time. And it is a library book, so that's why it's just, I got that Y on that, but I got it from the library. And this book is so good that I have to buy it this weekend to own it because I love it that much. I don't ever usually do library books. I like library books, and I've never loved one so much that I have to buy it, but this seriously is amazing. It's on the level with, I'm even going to say it, Perfect Chemistry to me. That's just how much I enjoy it. So like I said, stop now if you don't want to watch spoilers. So here we go. Okay, so it starts out with Bianca, you know, just living her life with her two best friends, and they go to this place called The Nest every weekend, or you know, as much as they can. It's just like a typical, not a bar because they're 17 years old, but it's like a bar. They only serve Coke and they dance and all that stuff. And her friends are, she describes them as models in the book. Like, her best friends are beautiful. They're like tall. One of them's tall, beautiful, skinny. She's the captain of the cheerleading squad, and the other one's just so beautiful. They look like they could be in a Vogue magazine. And Bianca's like not them. Like, she's, I think, from what the description of Bianca is, she's pretty, but she's not anywhere, I guess, near as gorgeous in her eyes as her two best friends are. And so one night, you know, she always sits at the bar. Bianca never dances with her friends at all. She just lets them have their fun. And then, lo and behold, her nemesis, Wesley Rush, comes up to her, and he calls her DUFF. And if you don't know what DUFF stands for, it stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend. That is so awful. Like, wow, why would you call somebody that? So he tells Bianca's wondering why she's talking to him. She's like, get the crap away from me. And he's like, well, you're the DUFF. And she's like, what? What's the DUFF? And he tells her, he says, the more he hangs out with her friends will see that he's got, like, you know, a soft spot, and they will sleep with him, because Wesley is known as the school's playboy. He sleeps with any girl he can, and he just, whatever. That's just what he does. And Bianca's hurt when she hears this, and then next thing you know, she kisses him just cause, and then he starts groping her, and then she slaps him, and then whatever. And then the story starts off, and she gets paired up with Wesley for a school project, and she absolutely hates it, but things start happening because Bianca uses Wesley as a distraction for her everyday life. Like, there's a lot going on with Bianca. Her parents are constantly fighting. Her mom is a motivational speaker. She travels to different states all the time. She's rarely home, and then it's just like her whole world's crumbling apart, you know? So that starts happening. So she needs a distraction from her parents' awful fighting and just the emptiness of her life without a family, pretty much. And then her ex-boyfriend comes back in town, which also stirs things up for her. So she just starts sleeping with Wesley just to use him as a distraction. And she tells him, you know, I'm just using you, whatever. That's what's happening. And it's like she starts to get addicted, like crack or something, sleeping with this guy. And she starts doing it like 3-4 times a week, and she just can't, I wouldn't say live without him, but she has to have her fix, like her Wesley fix. And then she starts liking him a lot, and It's just, guys, this is such an amazing book. Every girl in reality feels like the Duff. Like, it's just not about Bianca. I'm sure every girl does. And she says so in this book, like, you know, we're all Duffs. We all have some problem that we just don't like about ourselves that we feel. And this book just explains it so great. I just really I love the romance so much in this book. I love the bad guy and, like, not the good girl, or just a relationship that starts off so wrong but you learn it so right at the end. I love that kind of romance that you don't expect going into it. It's just, it's such a good book. Oh my gosh, words cannot describe how much I love this book. Because last night is when I finished it. And I watched Glee. I'm a big Glee, I'll admit it. I'm a big loser. Whatever. And it was on at 8 o'clock last night. And I was like, usually when Glee's on, I have to watch it. Nothing can distract me from Glee. But, like, when scenes were that I was, like, not interested in, I was like, yeah, that's how good it was. I'm like, I have to finish this book tonight. I need to review on it. I have to do it. So, yeah. Sorry for that side note. I'm really awful at reviews. I'm really awful. Sorry. I'm only doing my books I really love. That I can promise you, so you don't get too sick from watching me. Okay, so Bianca starts sleeping with Wesley because she used distractions from her life, from her parents and all that stuff. And like I said, her ex-boyfriend comes back in town, which even more is a distraction. And she starts to learn more things about Wesley that she didn't really want to learn at first. Like, Wesley lives in, like, this huge mansion. He's rich, but his parents are never home. His parents are always traveling, and his sister lives with his grandparents, so he basically lives by himself. And, you know, she starts to feel sorry for him and starts to empathize with him. It's just, they start to connect. Slowly but surely they start to connect. Obviously the book is about Bianca using Wesley as a distraction to keep her from her problems in real life. You know, she uses him. But at the end of the book, she starts to develop feelings for him, even though she starts dating, or just kind of dating, I guess you could say, the guy she's been crushing on for so many years, and she doesn't feel that spark there, you know? Like, I think she compares it to the book Wuthering Heights about, I've never read Wuthering Heights, don't judge me. I really should, but I think the girl's name is Catherine. I think her name's Catherine. She compares the love like Wuthering Heights. Like, her Catherine's love for Linton is like the foliage in the woods. Time will change it. I'm well aware as winter changed the trees. My love for Heathcliff resembles the eternal rocks beneath, a source of visible delight but necessary. And so Bianca starts putting two and two together to realize that her love for Toby is just going to change, like, you know, just like the seasons. It's not going to stay, it's not going to grow, it's not going to be there forever because it will go away. She just doesn't have that spark, but she realizes her love is for Wesley is like her love for it's like Catherine's love for Heathcliff, where it's the eternal rocks below. It'll always be there. It'll always be a source. It's necessary. And so, of course, in the end, they get together, and the end's kind of like where she breaks things off with Wesley because she realizes that she does have feelings for him, and she doesn't want to have feelings for him. And Wesley has always said from the get-go that he does not chase girls. Girls come to him. And then all of a sudden one day she comes into her, this is my favorite part in the book. I don't know why. It just really is. She comes to her desk and there's a note on it and it says Bianca, and she opens it and it says, Wesley Rush does not chase girls, but I'm chasing you. I don't know. Crap like that melts my heart. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so freaking sweet. Like, oh, I'm such a romantic, guys. And short, off of this awful review, this book is so good. This will not teach you, I guess. It'll show you, you know, love comes from where you don't expect it. Love is just not something that, it could not be the guy, like in this book, that she's been crushing on for years, but a guy that she hated and she never thought she would like. I've seen that happen to friends, you know. People find love in all sorts of places, and people can change if you meet the right person. This book is just everyone's a Duff. We all feel like this, and I hope this book review wasn't so awful. I went into it thinking I was going to rock it, but I don't feel like that now. So, I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's short and sweet. This book is so amazing. I think this is on Goodreads I gave it a 5 out of 5. I loved it that much. I only give that to books I super duper truly love, like I'm obsessed with. And this is one book I'm obsessed with. Books like these I read more than once, to be honest with you. A lot of books I don't read more than once. Of course, my Harry Potter, I've read those like 7 times each, but this book I can see just reading again just because I love it that much. So go out and buy it. Do not get it from the library. Don't loan it from a friend. Go out and seriously and buy it to keep it, because this is the book that you need to have, to own, because it's amazing. And I look forward to reading another novel by Cody Kepler. I think it's Shutout, which, like I said, I know that review was probably really awful. Sorry, I guess I'm just not a good reviewer. If you want to see more, tell me. Maybe my charisma will make up for the crappy book review. I don't know, but whatever. I hope you guys have a great and fabulous day, and bye.